And obviously we're doing all we can to protect the NHS from our competence. In the UK and Western Europe to a lesser extent, certain media figures and politicians have stood behind lecterns blaming China for quite a few things. They've been blaming them for the origins of the virus and their initial handling, as well as acting to downplay and are whipping up mistrust of any help that China might actually provide certain countries stricken by COVID-19. Talking up tough language to show they're prepared to hold China to account. Bad China, naughty China. So regarding the blame for the start of the virus, so it seems like with a lot of time on our hands to think, there are a lot of people coming up with brilliant theories of how China is criminally culpable for the coronavirus. How their uncivilized ways caused this. Their way of eating being uniquely deviant somehow. Throughout human history, we have continually come up with stories whose only purpose has been to convince your own people of how much different the official enemy really is. Especially using very emotionally responsive and visceral things to all humans, things like food and babies usually. Something in the sense of they abort then eat their own coronavirus infected babies, something like that. Initial reports centered on the Wuhan seafood Initial reports centered on the Wuhan seafood market as a likely origin, with many politicians, keyboard warriors, and armchair experts demanding these markets be shut down as they're a danger to public health and the world at large, and the civilized world the most. The fact of the matter is, though, that those markets are actually not much more different from fresh food markets anywhere else in the world. New illnesses arise. They just do. And while it is definitely not as exciting or satisfying when things happen, sometimes there is no one entity, person to blame. Scientists have warned for quite a while that our increased infringement upon animal habitats across the world creates more opportunities for so-called zoonotic diseases to jump to humans from animals. A 2014 research done by the World Animal Health Organization, for some reason abbreviated OIE, show that, I'm not sure how to say this scientifically, but this shit just happened. On the topic of the handling of the coronavirus, everyone is aware, of course, of the measures taken by China to rein in the virus, as has been covered rather extensively. Many Western commentators at the time were skeptical of the measures taken, thinking they were too harsh, too authoritarian, and they'd never work in the democratic world. And obviously, though, as we're all experiencing right now, they were wrong, and that's okay. But the thing is, though, so how can you blame China for how bad you're handling it if there are other countries who got it earlier, were closer, and actually did better? These media figures, politicians, influencers have also been acting to whip up mistrust of any Chinese help. The thing is, admittedly, this is something important to understand. No country really gives anything without at least hoping for a little positive credit. It is a different situation for Western countries, though, to find themselves in, that they suddenly need help from others in times of crisis. 70 years of humanitarian help and covertly gifting democracy to other countries, sorry Iraq, has made it an unusual sight to receive help ourselves. But as countries like Italy have shown, who really cares about geopolitical game playing when you're in trouble and your closest friends aren't there to help you out as much as you wish they were. You'll take all the help you can get. Beware the hate mongers. Opinion leaders, influencers know that latent fear of communists and xenophobia can easily be whipped up, diverting attention away from their own failings. Use it to push misunderstandings, half-truths, and plain falsehoods to get people to see the world in a black and white way, where the democratic Christian West as the cartoon good guys and the faithless communist Chinese as the industrious, nefarious force bent on world domination. As old as racism itself is the notion of the other as eating impure things, of being dirty, of being less smart. In other words, being less sophisticated than oneself, than your own group. Do not be fooled. The hate mongers rely on people seeing the world in a hostile way to maintain the mindset necessary to continue their own immoralities. To perpetuate a world where the West stays at the top by whatever means necessary. And to be fair, if you think about it, you know what it looks like from the outside when a nation tries to hold on to its past glory in the least gracious way possible.
We will make America strong again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
And so you must understand that we shall blame China for everything because we can. Thank you.